Do it now. Whatever it is that you plan on doing, do it now. Don't wait for nobody. Because you don't need nobody in order to be successful. Yeah, it's good to have friends. Yeah, it's good to have people along the journey. Yeah, it's good to have a buddy to go through the fire with you. But you don't need nobody to be successful. You don't need nobody to achieve greatness. Understand this. It might be hard for you to do big things in great ways, but remember, you can do small things in great ways.
That boy.
Cheers. You are now watching Create a Steady Hustle with LikquidCash.
Cheers, what it is and what it ain't. It's yours truly, LikquidCash. I need it all out the stash. The man, the myth, money making Mitch. Y'all know what it is, man. Another day, another dollar, more money, more progress. Let's get it. We live and direct. We're gonna give it a sec for some people to jump in the room, and we gonna, you know what I mean? Chop game, avoid lanes, and pray that we never stay the same. Because we always evolving, reaching for the next level in life. All right, let me tell the world that I'm live. Give me a second, guys. Most of the time when somebody's reading a book and they get to a word they're not familiar with, they usually skim past that word and continue reading on. I ain't even gonna front, I used to do the same thing. But see, when you end up doing that, you usually miss the essence of what the author is trying to convey. So I don't do that anymore. What I do is I Google a word, I write it down, and I memorize it, and I add it to my vocabulary. And that one simple task, separate the winners from the losers. Anytime you try to cut corners and cheat the grind, you end up cheating yourself. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. Check out my new book, Tips on Relationships, The Naked Truth About a Beautiful Lie. Cheers. This is Q&A. If you got questions, you know I got answers. We're not going to waste no time. We're going to get right into it. And I'm going to leave the number inside of the comment section so you'll be able to call up and we could discuss whatever's on your mind. Now the number is pinned in the chat, so you can call up, and that's that. It's Create a Steady Hustle, man. Just want to let y'all know, man, I appreciate y'all for, rocking with your boy for this long. It's been a while. I've been doing my thing for a little minute now, and it's became bigger than I expected thus far, and it's only going to get bigger, it's only going to get bigger. We grown and we building one brick at a time, and I'm making good progress. I'm happy about the progress I'm making. And we just gonna get better and better and better with time, you know what I mean? Every day and every way I just get better and better and better, you dig? So you can't stop the rain. Can't stop it at all, man. I'm gonna shine because, the sun, you can't stop the sun from shining, man, you dig? Like I said again, man, I'm not gonna make this a long live session, but it's all up to y'all. It's all up to y'all, man. That's all it is, man. It's all up to y'all. It depends on, if y'all want to ask questions, then I'm going to stay a little longer. If y'all support the show, I'm going to stay a little longer. But if y'all don't, come in here, with your questions and getting it popping early, then I'm going to get off early. So it's really up to y'all, you dig? But I want to let y'all know before we get into it and start answering calls, I want to let y'all know off the rip, man. Understand this. You was born to win, but they wasn't expecting you to, They wasn't expecting you to win. The world wasn't expecting you to win, but you was born to win. You dig? And when you're going through life and you're trying to navigate through this thing called daily life, the one thing that we always run into is doubt and fear. But I want to let y'all know that fear is a thief and doubt is a liar. I'm going to say that again, all right? I want to let y'all know that fear is a thief and doubt is a liar. You dig? And that's one of the things that always troubled me when I was coming up, dealing with doubt and dealing with fear too, because fear is a silent assassin. But doubt then killed a lot of people's dreams, a lot of people's goals. How many of y'all let doubt creep into your mind, creep into your psyche, and made you stop the one thing you wanted the most? It made you stop going after the one thing you wanted the very most. Doubt got in your mind. And then fear creeped all the way in too as well. And then you talk yourself out of the things that you thought that you could accomplish with ease. It sounds so good. It was like music to your ears when you first came up with the idea. And then all of a sudden, fear and doubt crept in and started giving you ideas and ways and, coming up with so many things to make you talk yourself out of the thing that you want the most. So now you sit back and you relax, you don't make a move. And all of a sudden you scroll down Instagram or you scroll through the TV and you see somebody else doing the exact same idea that you thought of. Yeah. Energy is never lost. It's just transferred from one person to the next. Your thought is a frequency and it's sent out and it's received by other people that's on that same frequency. And now that person that thought of the same idea that you had, they just acted on it. You didn't. We all been there. I've been there. I let doubt stop me from doing a lot of things. I let fear crept in and talk me out of all the things that I wanted to do at a young age. You dig? And I want y'all to understand this and keep this in the back of your mind. Doubt is a thief and fear is a liar. You dig? Understand that. Don't let nothing get in the way of your goals, your dreams, and the things that you're trying to achieve. Success is just a decision away. All you got to do is make a decision and move in that direction, which is very hard. It's not easy as it seems. You dig? It might be easy, but it's not that simple. Yeah, it might be easy, but it's just not that simple. Because a lot of times, we look at what's going on around us. We look at our circumstances. We look at the things that we have and the things that we don't have. And we make decisions based on that. You dig? A lot of times when you coming up in the trenches and you see what you don't have, you already know that you can't accomplish that particular goal because you may need this, that, and this, right? All the things that you need is stopping you from getting the point A or the point B or the point C. But sometimes the magic happens behind the scenes. It's off your radar screen. It's something that you can't see. It's happened behind the scenes. You dig? So a lot of times I tell people when they ask me, man, how do you keep going? How do you keep, reaching towards something that you can't even see see right now in your physical? But I can see it in my mind's eye. I can see it in my mind. And whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, he can achieve. So once you can see it in your mind, you can see it in your physical. It all depends on your perseverance and your determination. How determined are you? How bad you want success? How bad you want that goal or that thing that you said you've been yearning for? How bad you really want it? Because I come to find out a lot of people don't really want it that bad. They really don't want success as bad as they want to breathe. They don't really want success as bad as they want to live. They just talk about wanting to be this and wanting to be that, but they don't understand it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of perseverance. It takes a lot. It don't happen overnight. Everybody got big dreams and big wishes, but nobody got a plan. Nobody got no money. Nobody got no ideas. Nobody really know what they really want to do, and that stops them. That's the number one reason why most people are not successful in life, is because they do not have a goal or a dream or a chief aim they going after. See, it's not the fact that you can't achieve it. It's not the fact that you was born in poverty. It's not the fact that your mother and your father didn't help you throughout your life. It's not the fact that you was, you went through so many things in your life that stopped you from moving forward. It's none of those things. It's the fact that you don't even know what you want. It's the fact that you don't have a goal or a chief aim or desire of something that you really want to have. So 9 out of 10 people never really become anything because they don't have nothing they really want to achieve. You have to have something on your vision board that you want to achieve. If you're not growing, you're dying. Anytime you're not moving towards something, you're going to start to spiral downward and you're going to go into a slump and you're going to go into a negative mind state because there's nothing to look forward to. If you don't wake up with anything to look forward to, you're going to start to think negative. You're going to start to spiral downward and you're going to consume your thoughts with negative thinking. And you don't want that, because those things start to germinate and they become a part of your reality. You get what you think about most of the time. You heard it from Earl Nightingale. You heard it from Napoleon Hill. You heard it from Zig Ziglar. You heard it from all the scholars. This is one thing they are all in agreement with, that you get what you think about most of the time. So if you're thinking about what you don't want, you're going to get that. If you're thinking about what you do want, more than likely you're going to get that as well. Why? Because you get what you think about most of the time. What are you thinking about? When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about what I'm trying to achieve today. And all I got to do is achieve a certain amount of things. I focus on what's most important. That's my system. That's my strategy. My strategy is to focus on what's most important. What's most important in your life? What is the one thing on your to-do list that you got to achieve today, that you got to do today? Because a lot of us, we have 24 hours throughout the day, so we have enough time to do the things we want to do, but we do all the things that we shouldn't do, like scrolling online, like doing all the miscellaneous shit, having conversations with people on the phone that we shouldn't be talking to. We do everything but do the thing that we need to do the most, and then we cry that it ain't enough hours, enough time in the day. There's enough time in the day. The same 24 hours that made a millionaire or a billionaire made a failure. Which one are you? More than likely you the failure. More than likely you the person that can't find enough time in the day to do the things you want. I just focus on a few things that I want to do. What's the most important? We know I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do that every day because that's a part of my physical fitness, and health as well. If you don't have physical health and good health, you're not going to really be able to harness a certain amount of energy to accomplish the things you want. So you have to be in good health in order to have the right amount of energy to bring into your existence the things that you desire, the things you want. So that's why health is at the number one thing on my list that I always do no matter what. I focus on the things that I consume. I focus on the things that I do throughout the day, which is taking care of my health. That's very important, you dig? And when I start off my day with a light breakfast. But before I even get into the breakfast, I write down 10 things that I'm thankful and grateful for. That's the first thing I do because I want to put myself in a positive mind state, you dig? That's the first thing I want to do. I want to always put myself in a positive mind state. You never know. I might have wake up from a bad dream. I might have had a nightmare. I might have been dealing with sleep paralysis or whatever have you, right? Something might have happened while I was sleeping, and I might have not had a good sleep. We all deal with that, where we have, certain nights where you don't have a good night's sleep. So sometimes you could wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It happens to everybody. Not everybody wake up all happy and jolly. Everybody don't wake up happy and jolly. Sometimes we wake up upset. Sometimes we wake up, feeling some type of way. So in order to get yourself in a positive mind state, you got to write what you're thankful and grateful for. And a lot of times when you ask somebody to write down what they're thankful and grateful for, they only write one or two things. Now understanding there's so much things you could be thankful for. It's many more things you could be thankful for, but their imagination is so low. They don't use their imagination. They don't really think. They just write down one or two things. When you can write down a whole list of things, you don't have to stop at 10. You can stop at 20. You can stop at 30. You can stop at 50. You can find 100 things to be thankful and grateful for. So that sets the mind state for the day. And of course, you got to read something. You got to read something positive. You got to read something that's going to put you in a good frequency, a good state of mind, right? So these are some of the things that I do to keep myself in a positive state of mind, because once you go outside of your doors, you're faced with all type of different obstacles headed towards your way. And you don't know what your challenges are going to be throughout the day. You don't know what your challenge is going to be, but you got to be prepared. You got to be ready for whatever is outside of that door that's trying to stop you from moving towards your goal. And like I said again, you have to focus on just a few things. A few things. It could be 3 things throughout the day, 4 things, but just the most important things on your to-do list. You dig? The most important is whatever you want it to be, right? It could be just sending an email. You don't have to make it complicated. It could be just sending out a text to somebody that you supposed to have a business meeting with, right? It don't have to be complicated. You set the rules. You set the regulations. It's your world. It's nobody else's world. You dig? So it's whatever you set up for you and the things that you need to do and the things that you know you got to do in order to get where you're trying to go. You dig? And there's a lot of people that's going to be trying to stop you along the journey because you're going to get that phone call from that dude that's going to hit you up about nothing. Sometimes you're going to hit you up just to talk to see how you doing and then ask you for some money. That's going to happen. Family members might hit you up and ask you for some bread. You dig? They don't really want to know how you really doing. Their motive is just to get some money from you. That happens all the time. It happens in my life all the time. I go throughout my whole entire day sometimes and never hear from a family member, never hear from certain friends, you dig? Because they don't care about what's really going on in my life. They too concerned about what's going on in their life. And I don't hold no grudge or feel no way about it because I'm concerned about what's going on in my life. That's the focus. What's going on in my life, you dig? And sometimes you get a call and they may want to ask you for some bread. And if I am in the position to help, then I help. But if I'm not in the position to help, then I don't help. You dig? I'm never going to put myself out there and put myself in a jam and extend my hand longer than I can at this particular time. You dig? So it's important to understand that you was born to win. It's important for you to understand that. You was born to win, but they expect you to lose. Who was they? The naysayers, the haters, the outsiders, the people that just watch but never help, the people that just scroll by your post but don't like it, the people that leave hating comments in the comment section. You dig? You was born to win, but they expect you to lose. And majority of the people, they end up losing because they never find something that they love, that they want to pursue, like they want to breathe, like they want to live. I heard from a wise man years ago. He said, if you think the price of success is expensive, wait until you get the bill for regrets. And when I heard that, man, that blew me away. I was like, damn, that's a powerful quote. Let me write that down because I got to remember that. I'm going to say it again because I want you to write it down. If you think the price of success is expensive, wait until you get the bill for regret. There's a lot of people that are 60 and 70 years old right now living with regret. And that is going to send you to an early grave. So instead of living with regret, instead of going throughout your life, wondering what could have been, what should have been, do it now. Whatever it is that you plan on doing, do it now. Don't wait for nobody. Because you don't need nobody in order to be successful. Yeah, it's good to have friends. Yeah, it's good to have people along the journey. Yeah, it's good to have a buddy to go through the fire with you. But you don't need nobody to be successful. You don't need nobody to achieve greatness. Understand this. It might be hard for you to do big things in great ways. But remember, you can do small things in great ways. You don't have to go take the elevator all the way to success, because once you take the elevator, you're going to miss so many things in between that journey that's going to be crucial for you to actually maintain the level of success that you're at. So it's okay to take the stairs. The stairs is it's going to hurt. Your legs are going to burn. You're going to want to give up. You're going to feel like dying. You're going to feel like crying. You're going to feel like, damn, this is too much. But the things that you're going to learn along the journey, going up those stairs, your mind is going to work in so many different ways. It's going to tell you so many different things. It's going to tell you, you don't got to do this. You don't got to take the stairs. Just jump on the elevator. Just do this. You ain't got to do that. But that discipline, that willpower, that perseverance, that the resilience is going to keep you going. That's going to push you forward. That resilience, that willpower, that drive, that motivation, that enthusiasm, That's how you're going to get to the level of success. You don't got to have a proper skill. You don't got to be gifted in anything. You know, a lot of people sometimes they think they got to be gifted or skilled in something in order to be successful. They think they need this doctorate degree. They think they need this master's. They think they need this type of degree or this skill or this trade. You don't need anything of that magnitude to be successful. And the reason I know that is because one time I was reading a book and I was reading about Andrew Carnegie, and one of his keys to success was he was able to collect people like wealthy people collect paintings. Now, let me break that down. Instead of him looking for different things to invest in as far as real estate, art, and different things, different commodities or things of that sort, he would go to social gatherings, country clubs, and things of that nature, talk to certain people, and he would collect people that had skilled in certain things that he wasn't privy to. If he wanted something to be done, he didn't have to learn that particular thing. All he did was look for the person who mastered the thing that he wants to get done. Let me break that down even more. If you know you're not a good photographer and you're trying to get some pictures done for your headshot because you want to start pursuing some acting career, right? You want to start pursuing your acting career. Instead of wasting your time buying the camera, instead of wasting your time downloading Photoshop to try to edit the photos once you take the picture, all you got to do is find somebody that's skilled it in that particular craft, have them take your headshot, exchange information, right? And basically do a trade-off. Meaning you could use this for your resume. I use your pictures to go into these interviews and go into these auditions. Find somebody that's good at the thing that you're not good at. But that's something that you may want to do. Steve Jobs didn't know nothing about computer programming, but yet he's known to be one of the greatest inventors of all time when it comes to computers. But he knows nothing about computer programming. That's because he found the right people. He started collecting people who was gifted in certain skills, put them together, and they was able to work in harmony with each other. And that's how we have Apple today. Not because Steve Jobs was a great programmer, not because Steve Jobs was a great designer. It's because Steve Jobs was a visionary. He knew what he wanted. See, that's the key. That's the key. What I said earlier, most people don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. They don't have a goal or a chief aim. See, Steve Jobs knew what he wanted. And that's why he was able to facilitate all of these people to come together and work in harmony as a collective to accomplish one common goal: to design one of the best computers known to man. And he was able to do that. His name would live on forever. His name is already sketched in the history books. It's in stone. Nobody will ever forget Steve Jobs because of his contribution to humanity. He's made all of our lives better just by having an idea and having the guts and the courage to pursue it. Having the guts and the courage to find the people, go out and shake hands and meet a friend and connect with the right people that was able to make his dream come to light. So I say that to tell you, hey, listen, man, you don't gotta be the best web designer. You don't gotta be the best carpenter. You don't gotta be the best at anything. All you gotta do is know what you want in life. And the universe will move heaven and earth for you to achieve the one thing that you want. It will send you to people. It will send you or put you in circumstances, situations that get you a step closer to what you want. Anything you want, it don't matter how big the dream is. It don't matter, the bigger the better. You dig? The bigger the better. But the sweet spot is to have a dream big enough to excite you, but small enough that you believe you can get it. I'm gonna say that again because I know y'all been listening too slow. The key is this. You have to have a dream big enough to excite you, but small enough that you believe you can get it. Because once you believe you can achieve anything you desire, but you gotta believe it. And you can't let nobody stop you. You can't let doubt steal your goals, steal your dreams. You can't let doubt seep into the back of your mind and tell you, oh, you don't got this, you didn't graduate from high school, you don't got a college degree. How you expect to do that? You a loser. You grew up with no father, no mother in the household. You don't even know who you are. See, these are the things doubt and fear says to you in the back of your subconscious mind. And then you stop pursuing that one thing you want the most. The graveyard is filled with niggas who didn't achieve their goals or went after their dreams. The graveyard is filled with motherfuckers that gave up too soon. The graveyard is filled with people that never had the courage to do what they wanted to do. Now, do you want to go through life like that? Ask yourself, do you want to live life like that? Do you want to go through life thinking, damn, if I just gave it my all, if I just gave it what I had inside of me that I knew I had inside of me, I could have been this, I could have been that. Do you want to go through life regretting of what you could be? And it's not, like I said again, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. It's not easy. That's why it's important for you to stay around like-minded people that's motivated. They don't have to be rich. They don't have to be successful. But they have to have the mindset to want to be rich, to want to be successful, to want to pursue a goal, to want to pursue a dream. You dig? And if you around somebody that knows what they want, even if you don't know what you want, being around that person will help you discover what you want to do in life. That's deep. So that's why they say it's important to understand that who you hang around, the people you spend your time with, is very valuable, very important, because they're going to give you a clear understanding of what you want in life or what you don't want in life. Because sometimes I learn from people's mistakes. I don't have to bump my head 100 times to learn. I watch and observe. Through observation, I learn from people's mistakes. So we got to keep going. We got to keep moving. We got to keep grinding. We got to keep growing. We got to keep evolving. We can't stay stagnant. We can't let the world stop us. We can't let nothing get in our way. We got to always be trying to achieve something greater than we achieved yesterday. You dig? We always got to be moving forward. That's the goal. That's why I say I pray that you never be the same. You dig? When somebody say, man, listen, man, once you got that new chain, you change. Once you got that new car, you change. Once you start dressing different, you change. What you expect me to stay the motherfucking same? Nah, I have no intentions of staying the same. I have no intentions of doing the same thing I did last year or being the same person I was last year. I got to be wiser. I got to be stronger. I got to be smarter. I got to have more understanding about the things that I want to achieve. I would never be the same. The day that I wake up, that's when I'm starting to move differently. The moment I wake up, I'm hoping that I'm not the same person I was yesterday. I'm hoping I'm a little bit more smarter. I'm hoping I'm a little bit more sharper. I'm hoping I'm a little bit more closer to the things that I want to achieve. So I'm never trying to be the same or stay the same. I'm always changing. I'm always evolving. The nigga that you saw yesterday ain't the man that you see today. It's a different Liquid Cash. I'm a different human being. I'm a different essence. I'm a different spirit. I'm different all around. You just don't know it because you don't live with me. You don't see it every day. I'm always doing something that's going to help me to evolve and get a step closer towards the things I want. What I want to do, I want to be one of the most influential person on the planet. So what I got to do? I got to influence not only the people that watch me, but I got to influence myself. I got to motivate myself. I got to make sure that I'm ready to show up and show out and let you understand there's a reason you listen to me. It's a reason why you connect with the content that I spit. It's a reason why you feel me when I speak. It's a reason why, because I influence myself. I motivate myself. I inspire myself by doing the work. Not cutting no corners, not bullshitting, by doing the work, by sitting down, by meditating, by reading, by listening to audio books, by going to seminars, by listening to people that could educate me and that could make me more wiser, sharper, and stronger. Praying to God, staying grounded, not being big-headed, staying below the earth's surface and understanding that me and the earth is one and the same, but we connected. You dig? So that's why you feel what I spit. You feel what I say. You feel what I convey. You feel me? Because it's real like that, you dig? And I'm just trying to motivate y'all to understand, hey man, if you want anything in life, you can make it happen. You can make it happen, but the question is how bad you want it. That's the question. How bad you really want it. You dig? That's the question. Shout out to Marla Lee for that $5, man. I appreciate you for supporting the platform, you dig? They said, thank you for taking the time to share your advice and perspective. What you say, this a give and take relationship. What you said this is a give and take relationship. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. It's a give and take relationship. Most definitely. It is a give and take relationship. So shout out to anybody that support what I do. To anybody that support what I do, let me see some likes, please. Let me get some likes real quick, all right? Shout out to anybody that support what I do. If you support what I do, shout out to you, man. You dig? And, a lot of times, people watch what I do. They get some inspiration from what I do, and they don't support. But that doesn't stop me. I keep going because I don't look at the people that don't support. I focus on the people that do support. I show up for the people that do show up when it's time for me to do what I do when I do what I does. You dig? That's why I do what I do. I show up for the people that support what I do. I don't got time to spend any second or any minute worrying about the people that's hating, worrying about the people that don't support. It's a part of the process. Not everybody gonna support what you trying to do. Not everybody gonna be all about what you all about. Nah. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't trying to be motivated. Everybody ain't trying to be inspired. Some people is okay with being mediocre. Some people okay with just watching basketball and sports all day and doing everything that gets in the way of the things that they really should be doing. Some people okay with that. And they're going to live their life in misery, even though they walk around acting like they happy. They walking around acting like they satisfied with life, but they really secretly dying inside. They the walking dead. They living in misery. They just don't know it yet. You dig? But when they lay down late at night and they by themselves, they know they could be more. They can achieve more. They can do more. They know it. They know it in their heart. But they let doubt steal their dreams. They let fear lie to them every night. They let fear tell you lies over and over and over again. And they tell you so much lies that you end up believing it. You hypnotize yourself for failure. You hypnotize yourself for failure. Your negative ball of energy is bigger than your positive ball of energy. You've created neural pathways in your mind that make you think of negative things effortlessly. You ever met somebody, man, that can come up with a negative thought at the drop of a dime? You ever talk to somebody about your goals, your ideas, and the things you want to do, and they tell you all the reasons why it won't happen, why it won't work at the drop of a dime? I was having a conversation the other day with somebody, man, just yesterday. I was having a conversation. See, even at my level, I deal with it. Don't think none of us is exempt. I deal with it. Just yesterday, I was talking to somebody, and I was like, man, you got the momentum right now. You had 3 consecutive good days. You've made a lot of sales. You're seeing some progress. You went 3 weeks of not making no sales. You went 3 weeks of disappointment. But you showed up, and I commend you for showing up. But now because you showed up and you was consistent, you had 3 good days. You made some sales, and each day got better and better. So I said, are you going to go a 4th day? Are you going to really, you know what I mean? The whole week, you're going to go the whole week making sales and, getting it while it's going, getting it while it's moving. You're going to follow through on that momentum. You know what they told me? They said, I had 3 good days. I'm cool. I have no desire to chase money. I have no desire to make money the forefront of my life. And when the person said that, I started to fizzle out. I started to drift away from the conversation because I realized we talk in different languages. We don't speak the same language. I speak Guapanese. They speaking some other shit. You dig? So once they said that, I was like, okay, I could see why this person is not successful in their life. I could see why this person is just living a mediocre life. I could see why this person drive the car that they drive. I could see why they wear the clothes that they wear. I could see why they live at the location they live at. It's because they don't want to achieve greatness. They don't want to be great. They just want to get by. And I could have went back and forth with the person and try to motivate or inspire the person to keep going. But I just ended the conversation and told them I'll speak to them later. Because when you try to push somebody that don't want to be pushed, or is not motivated or self-motivated, all you're going to do is annoy them and annoy yourself. I realized a long time ago, not everybody in life want to be successful. Not everybody want to be rich. Not everybody want to be wealthy. Some people just want to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, if it was me, if I had 3 weeks of no sales, and then all of a sudden, God shined a light on me, and I had 3 good days, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop until the momentum slow down. I'm going to keep going. Why stop now? I went 3 weeks of not being able to close on a deal. 3 weeks. And I was consistent. Now all of a sudden I see 3 good days. I'm able to pay a bill. I'm going to slow down. And I had to realize that's a lot of people's mindset. Some people just make enough just to get by. Some people do enough not to get fired. They never going to go the extra mile. And it's sad to say, that's a lot of people in the world today. They don't want to take that extra step. They don't want to go that extra mile. That's why most people don't never reach high level of success. Because in order to achieve money, you have to be obsessed with money. Not to the standpoint of you losing your psyche, you losing your mind, but you got to be obsessed to the point where everything that you do gets you a step closer to achieving a certain goal that you have on your vision board. Whether that's $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, or even $5,000 a month. You have to be obsessed with that number. That number has to always be in the back of your mind. So if you just make $2,500 and say, oh, I'm cool, I can pay my bills with this, you'll never get to that $5,000. You got to be like, nah, this 2,500 is good, but I'm going to keep on going and to see if I could take it to the end of the rainbow. That should be the motivation. Being able to see some type of success and you just replicate that success over and over because success breeds success. I told y'all already the success momentum cycle. I'm going to say it again because I know some of y'all be listening slow. Y'all don't really hear me. Y'all hear me, but y'all ain't really listening. So I got to say it again. The success momentum cycle is success builds confidence. Confidence creates activity. Activity creates habits. Habits creates results. I'm going to say it again. This time, I want you to stop the tape or stop the podcast and write it down. Get your pen and get your pad and write this motherfucker down. You dig? Success builds confidence. Confidence creates activity. Activity creates habits. Habits creates results. That's the success momentum cycle. That's the momentum you want to go on, right? Because once you see some level of success, you're going to get confident in what you're doing. That's how it works. You feel like, okay, if I sold one book, I could sell two. And if I sold two, I could sell three. Right? Success builds confidence. And if you get that type of, confidence that you need to keep going, creates activity. What's the activity? You out there trying to bust a sale. You out there trying to make a move. You out there campaigning. You dig? What I mean by that? As soon as you wake up, instead of posting or scrolling on Instagram about nonsense, you promoting your business. You promoting what you're doing. You letting people know what you got out there, what you offering. And you putting a link inside of your story so they can purchase it right away because people are, they kind of slow out there. So you got to keep it simple. My mentor always say use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. You dig? Always use the KISS method. You dig? So anyway, so that creates activity. Activity creates habits. Now it becomes a habit. Anything you do over and over and over and over, it becomes a habit. And anything that becomes a habit, it creates neural pathways in your mind. And now you hypnotize yourself for success. And you're going to see nothing but results. You're going to see results exponentially. You dig? But you got to be on that success momentum cycle. You can't let it fizzle out. Like my man Top 10 say. They say he said he starts to fizzle out. You can't let it fizzle out, man. You got to keep going. You got to keep going, man. You dig? And that's the game plan. That's the goal, to keep going no matter what. No matter what. I just hit about 54,000 subscribers, which I feel great about. I've been doing this for a few years now. This ain't overnight. I started this page from ground zero. I got 54,000 subscribers. I'm going to 100,000. Now I got some of the best content out there on the market. Ain't nobody motivate you like I do it. I got some of the best content on the market. But my success ain't, you know what I mean? I'm not hitting the numbers I want to hit overnight. It's a grind. It's a process. It's a grind. It's something that I got to be working at on a consistent basis. You dig? It ain't go live once a month and they gonna come. Nah, you gotta promote. You gotta advertise. You dig? Early to bed, early to rise. You wake up and you advertise. I'm gonna say that again because that was a cool one. I know you like that. Early to bed, early to rise. You wake up and you advertise. That's how I do it. You dig? This ain't no, I'm going to go live and all of a sudden I'm going to blow up and people are just going to know me and know where I'm at, know what I'm about. Nah, I got to advertise what I'm doing. I got to wake up and be on my job. I got to make sure promote. I got to let people know I got a new episode that's out. I got to let people know that they need to go to the platform and subscribe to my Patreon. They not just going to look up Create a Steady Hustle. People are distracted by so many other things. So the things that you doing, you got to put it in their face every day. Pause. You got to put it in their face. You got to let them see it. You feel me? They don't know your business exists. They don't know who you are. They don't know nothing about your brand. Who are you? Nobody knows. Nobody give a damn. But you got to make them give a damn. You got to make them see you. You got to make them recognize you. You got to make them respect your grind. You dig? They might not respect your mind, but they're going to respect your grind. Not everybody agree with what I say. Not everybody agree with the things that comes out of my mouth. Sometimes I say some outlandish shit that somebody may disagree with. But it's okay. Everything I say, I speak in truth. Everything I say is it works for me. It might not work for you. It works for me. And I speak from experience. I don't just speak because I got lips. I speak from experience. But not everybody is going to agree with what I say. But that's not going to stop me from doing what I need to do. And I'm going to speak in truth every time I open my lips. You dig? Every time I speak, I'm going to speak truth. So you may not recognize the truth when you hear it because you living in a lie. And there's a lot of people living in a lie. Their whole life is a lie. As soon as they wake up lying. And they lie so much, they believe the lie. But see, I live in my truth. That's why I can speak the way I do. And I can speak with such conviction because I'm living in my truth. I'm doing the things that I want to do because I want to do it, not because somebody's making me do it or I feel like I have to do it. I do it because it's my truth. I'm living in my truth. I'm living in my purpose. You dig? So that's how we got to move. We got to move in our purpose. We got to let the noise fall by the wayside. We can't be distracted by the bullshit. We can't be distracted by the nonsense. We got to keep on going. We got to keep on striving for greatness. We got to understand. We got to dodge these lanes. You know what I mean? We got to stay true to the game. And we got to pray that we never be the same. Because we always trying to evolve. We always trying to reach higher heights. We always trying to be a better version of ourselves, right? But you got to have that burning desire. You got to have a burning desire for the things that you want. But how do you get a burning desire? That's the question. How do you get a burning desire? You eliminate fear. That's how you get a burning desire. You eliminate fear. The moment you eliminate fear out of your psyche, you will get a burning desire for that one thing you want to achieve. For that goal that seems so far-fetched, that goal that seems so far away. Once you eliminate fear, you'll get a burning desire for the thing that you want to achieve, but you have to love what you're trying to do. You got to love what you're trying to do. You're going to be sidetracked by your friends. You're going to be sidetracked by your girl. You're going to be sidetracked by your family. You're going to be sidetracked by society. Life is going to sidetrack you. You got to understand this. Like I told you before, you was born to win, but they don't expect you to. You dig? So they're going to throw so many different obstacles in your way. They're going to try to sidetrack you in every way they can. But you got to jump over that hurdle because you got to understand success is just a decision away. You dig? It's just a decision away. And success is a journey. It's a journey. The journey's going to be rough. The ride is going to be rough. It's going to be a struggle. Nobody going to believe in you. Nobody going to accept what you're trying to do. Nobody's going to see your vision. It is what it is. Ain't nobody supposed to see your vision. It's your vision. It's your vision. You dig? Be afraid of comfort and stagnation. Be afraid of comfort and stagnation. Because that ain't where you want to be. You don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be too comfortable. Comfortability is a beautiful place where nothing grows. You dig? Comfortability is a beautiful place where nothing grows. So you don't want to be too comfortable. Some of us get so comfortable we stop moving forward. We start to be complacent. We start to be stagnant. We start running in place. You don't want to be too comfortable. You always want to be striving for greatness. You always want to be striving for something else, you dig? Comfortability is a beautiful place where nothing grows. When I heard that quote, I said, oh, that's a good one. I got to write it down. I don't let no jewels go through my earlobes, hits my brain, and I don't write it down. I make it a part of my life. You dig? It got to be a part of my psyche. I got to know it like I know my first and last name. So anytime you hear me riddle off a quote, you think I'm just saying it just because it sounds slick. I say it because the words have a vibration connected to it. And every time I utter those words, it stimulates my body, my mind, my spirit, and my soul, you dig? And it has a certain vibration. I just feel good when I say it, you dig? It puts me in remembrance. It lets me know that I can't be complacent. I can't be comfortable. I gotta find comfort with discomfort. Even if I gotta put myself in uncomfortable situations so I can figure ways to get out of it. I do things like that to make sure I keep myself sharp. Because not everybody I'm around are overachievers. Some of the people I'm around are complacent. And I love them the same, because not everybody is going to be you. They have to walk in your shoe. They'll have to deal with the things that you've dealt with. They would have to go through some of the things that you've went through in order to be an overachiever or be anything like you. And no two people have the same story. We all have a different journey, right? We all went through something. But I'm not sitting down crying and boo-hooing about what I went through. Or my father wasn't there, my mother wasn't there, my family don't support me, my girl don't believe in me. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Do I believe in myself? That's what's most important. Do I believe I can accomplish it? Do I believe I can be great? Do I believe in myself? That's what's important. Everything else is null and void. Everything else don't matter. Shout out to Jay Money for that $9.99. Hey, listen, man, you keep on supporting the platform, I will be able to buy the Brooklyn Bridge. Most definitely. I most definitely will be able to buy that. You dig? But yeah, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's really all about. It's about, do I believe in myself? That's what I'm concerned about. Do I believe in myself? Do you believe in yourself? You know what I mean? Do you believe in yourself? I know you don't, because if you did, you would have put your money where your mouth is. Or you'll put your money where your belief is. You don't believe in yourself, because if you did, you would invest in getting your name trademark. Yeah, your business name that you thought about months ago, you would invest it in getting the domain name. You haven't even bought the domain name, and that's only $9.99. So I know you don't believe in yourself. I don't know who you think you fooling, but you only fooling yourself. If you believed in yourself, you'd have went on Trademark here and get your name or your business trademark. But you haven't done that yet because you really don't believe in yourself. If you believed in yourself, you would have got your website developed. You really don't believe in yourself. You still hustling backwards. You ain't doing business. You ain't operating business. You ain't conducting business. You hustling. You know the difference between hustling and business? It's a difference. It's a big difference. Hustling is when you gather your product, you go outside, you go up to your customer, and you tell them to buy your product. You hustling, but you haven't put no money behind your domain name. You haven't went to open up a business account. You haven't got your LLC. You haven't got no business cards. You hustling. You haven't done the necessary things that it takes to operate a business legally. You dig? You still on the corner hustling. And that's fine, that's cool, and that's dandy. But you have to evolve. Remember I said you don't want to stay the same. Always remember that. You don't always want to stay the same. Now you can start on a low level where you hit the streets and you guerrilla marketing and you touching the people. But at some point, you got to believe in your business enough. Soon as you make some profit, you go to GoDaddy and you buy the domain name. And when you make more profit, you reinvest and get your website developed. And when you make more profit, you go down to your local office and get your LLC. You dig? Then you go down to the bank and you open up a business account. And then you start to put money inside of that business account. And after you put money inside of that business account over about a certain period of time, then you apply for a business credit card. And now you use that business credit card funding to reinvest into the business and start marketing and promoting. And when you start making enough money, what you do is go to your bank and you tell your bank you want to start paying yourself a salary. You want to put yourself, you know what I mean, on a certain salary that you pay yourself every 2 weeks or every week. This is business. What you've been doing is hustling. But you need to start conducting real business. You have to evolve from the hustle mindset or the hustle state of mind to say, okay, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. And what do I have to show for that? I have a business license. I have a business bank account. I have a website. And I have an employee. Who's your first employee? You are, stupid. You are the first employee. Now you operating a real business. Hey, listen, man, I'm giving y'all $1 trillion worth of game. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. I'm going to leave the phone lines open for y'all to tap in. If y'all want to talk to me via Zoom, the link is in the description below. And we could chop it up via Zoom. I've been on here for 58 minutes, baby. Non-stop. You dig? So, yeah. Shout out to everybody that showed up. Somebody asked me, how do I stay motivated? How do I stay motivated? Well, that's a great question. How do I stay motivated? The fact that I wake up, you know what I mean? Every morning that I wake up, that's motivation enough. The moment I wake up and I wake up in my right mind, I'm feeling good. I had a good night's rest. I'm motivated. I ain't even gonna front. I ain't even gonna hold you. Wake up at 6 a.m. The moment I open my eyes, I'm motivated. God has given me another day to get a step closer to my goals. I'm going to say that again. God has given me another day to get a step closer to my goal. That's motivation enough. If God believed in me, shit, everything else is a cakewalk. He woke me up today. And not only did I wake up, I woke up in my right mind. Some niggas wake up and they don't wake up in their right mind. You dig? They wake up, their body wake up, but their mind is still sleeping. You dig? So if I wake up in my right mind, man, that's motivation enough. I hit the ground running, you dig? And the fact that I have a goal that I want to achieve that's not accomplished yet, that's motivation enough. See, when you got a goal and something that you really trying to do, man, and you could touch it, you could feel it, you could taste it, that's motivation enough. You dig? And the fact that you don't have it in your possession, or you don't have it in your reality right now at this moment, that's motivation enough. That's what motivates me, man. The fact that I haven't achieved the thing that I need or I want the most. And I don't compare my life to nobody else. I don't compare what I have to what somebody have. I compare my life to the things that I want to accomplish. You dig? I compare my life to what I've done before and what I know I could do. Because I know my potential. I know who I am. I don't compare what I have to what somebody else got, man. That's the wrong way to live life. Comparison is the thief of joy. Also, jealousy is the thief of joy. Remember that. Comparison is the thief of joy. Also, jealousy is the thief of joy. Too many of us go on social media comparing our life to other people's life. Not understanding they really going through the storm and the rain and the pain. They make it look good on social media, man. Everybody make it look good on social media. I even make it look good on social media. But the difference between me and them is I'm actually living and showing my real life. It's no cap in my rap. This is me. You dig? I live in my truth every day. I only drive cars that I own. I don't rent cars. You dig? I don't go in people's houses and take pictures and take videos and say I live there. Nah, I only show you what I have and I own in my own possession. I don't go to the jewelry store and post pictures of the jeweler's chain and watch and jewelry and put it on my wrist and make it seem like that's mine. I only wear what's mine. I only show you what's mine. You dig? I live in my truth. There's no cap in my rap. There's no faking in what I'm doing. That's what keeps me motivated. Because I live in my truth. I don't compare what I've done to what others have done. I compare what I've done to what I could have done. Remember what I said earlier. If the price of success is too expensive for you right now, wait until you get the bill for regret. Wise words from a wise man. When I hear Jewel, I pick it up. I hope you picking up what I'm putting down. You dig? So a lot of people fake it to make it. But I said it a long time ago, and I'll keep on saying it because somebody need to hear it. You don't got to fake it to make it. You got to think it to make it. The day I started driving my hoopty today. That was one of the highlights of my day. One of the most impactful time that I spent today was driving my hoopty. Now, some people may say this is not a hoopty, the car that I drive. I'm not going to tell you the name or the model or whatever because you might say it's not a hoopty as well. But it's a hoopty to me, right? And I've been driving my hoopty today and I felt great. I got inside my bucket and I couldn't wait to drive and run my errands, right? I couldn't wait to run my errands. It felt great. Just jump out of my car, nobody looking at it or trying to take a picture of it. I felt great not being, recognized for what I'm driving. You dig? I felt good about that. I don't know why. I just felt great about that. I can't even explain it. You dig? I felt great driving my hoopty, running my errands, and just being low key. Sometimes it just feels good to be low key. Everything don't need to be high key. That's just me. And I post it on Instagram. Because everything ain't about a flex. Sometimes it's, that's a flex, just doing something low key where you ain't trying to impress nobody. You driving this and I'm gonna pick up a bad bitch in a hoopty as well, for sure. We're gonna go to the movies. We're gonna do some cool shit. We might go have a picnic. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the bad joint inside of the hoopty as well, because at the end of the day, man, hey, if you can't grind with me in this hoopty, you don't deserve to be in the Rolls Royce. You don't deserve to be in the I-8. You don't deserve to be driving in the Benz with me. You know what I mean? If you don't appreciate riding this hoopty with me, you dig? So yeah, I can't wait till I pull up on a bitch and that let me stop saying the B word. God ain't through with me yet. You dig? I'm trying to stop saying the B word, but it is what it is. This is how we talk coming up in the hood. You dig? But yeah, I can't wait to pick up a bad joint inside of the hoopty, and it ain't washed either. The motherfucker dirty. You know what I mean? One of my homeboys said I should rap it matte black. I say nah. If I rap it matte black, then I'm trying to unhoopty the hoopty. I don't want to unhoopty the hoopty. I want to keep it dirty. I want to keep it looking the way it looks. So when I pick up that joint and she look at me sideways, I like, yeah, we riding this today. You know what I mean? Yeah, we moving through the city in this today. Because sometimes it's cool to be low key. If she can't love you and respect you when you're in a hoopty, she don't deserve to be riding with you in a Benz or BMW or Bentley. You dig? She should be able to respect you driving whatever you driving. It don't matter if you riding a bicycle. She should be able to say, you know what? I got a bike too. Let's ride together. If you ain't got that type of joint that's riding with you on your team, hey, listen, man, get you a new player. You dig? You need a player on your team that's not going to look at you and shun you for what you got or what you don't have. You dig? Because all of that is material possession that's on rental. We don't own none of that shit. As soon as you dead, that go to the next person. You dig? A family member, a friend, a stranger. All of this shit is on rental time. You dig? We don't own none of this. You feel me? I don't own none of my possession. Everything is on borrowed time. So the moment we understand that, we can start to live life a little bit more free. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have your eyes on the prize. That doesn't mean you shouldn't set high standards and have goals that you want to achieve. Watch, chain, jewelry, house, whatever that might be. Whatever that might be. It don't mean you shouldn't want to achieve these nice things because they're good to experience. But don't become a slave to the things that you buy. They're just there for you to experience a feeling. That's what we all searching for, a feeling. It ain't the car, it ain't the clothes, it ain't the hoes, it ain't the jewelry. It's a feeling you're searching for. That's all you searching for, a feeling. And once you get that, you looking for the next high. Cause it ain't never enough. You always want more. You dig? And that's what we all fiends to what we desire. We all fiends for that feeling of being able to achieve something that we wanted and we have it in our possession and we enjoy it for the time being until we don't want it no more. It becomes old to us and we on to the next. Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all for being here. I've been on here for like an hour. I got some other things to do. I want to shout out a few y'all for being here. And somebody said the hoopty is crazy. Oh yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about the hoopty, man. Like I ain't gonna front, man. I feel good about that, man. Sometimes you gotta just go low key on them. You know what I mean? You gotta go low key on them, man. It is what it is, man. They gonna love you or hate you. It is what it is, man. Somebody gonna jump out and say LikquidCash fell off. He popped out in the hoopty. He fell off. He don't got it like he had it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm sure somebody's gonna say that. Somebody gonna see me jumping out of that hoopty and be like, yo, that nigga LikquidCash jump out the hoopty. He don't got it like he used to. Not knowing, hey man, I'm just doing this because I want to, not because I have to, you dig? Some people doing it because they have to, and that's fine, because we all have to start somewhere. But I'm doing it because I want to, not because I have to. Any minute I could, you know what I mean, pull out the Green Goblin or the Iron Man. Or I could just jump on my bike. It is what it is. CBR. You know what I mean? Honda. And just move through the city like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I ain't tripping. But sometimes you got to do that. You got to get low. Not because you have to. It's because, you know what I mean, you want to. And that's where you want to get to in life, where you have choices. You don't do nothing because you have to do it. You do it because you choose to do it. That's freedom. I'm going to say that again. You want to get to that point in life where you do it, not because you have to, because you want to. Now that's freedom. Don't you want to be free? Marla says she definitely would ride with me. I could dig that. Any other questions? If you got any other questions, leave it. Or if not, I'm about to get off. I've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all for being here with me. Y'all could be anywhere in the world. Now, if you want to watch this video, more than likely, if you don't see this video on YouTube after I'm done, it's on my Patreon, or it will be on my Patreon a day or two from now. A lot of times I record the live and I, do what I do behind the scenes and I upload it on my Patreon. Or I might just leave this up for 24 hours. If you haven't subscribed to my Patreon, I advise you to subscribe to my Patreon ASAP if you would like to support the platform. Now, if you don't really care about the platform, you don't really care about supporting, then you don't have to subscribe. But all my real dudes, my real females that like what I do, that, want to binge watch and go down that rabbit hole and get nothing but more Jews that you can use, subscribe to the Patreon, because I'm sure there's some videos on there that is not on YouTube that I know that you would like, all right? Hey, listen, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate every one of y'all for that. If you haven't got my book, Tips on Relationships, The Naked Truth About a Beautiful Lie, I advise you to go get it ASAP. Love lied to you, but I'm going to tell you the truth, you dig? It's a great book, great read. Also got another book called The Power of Thought, and my third book, Lessons and Legacies. Hey, listen, man, I got a book collection for you to go check out. So there's no excuse. You know what I mean? If you really want to support the platform, you will. If you don't, you won't. A wise man, when they want to do something, you know what I mean? They either going to find a way to do it, and if something they don't want to do, they'll find an excuse. Just got to figure out which one of you dig? But anyway, man, y'all know what it is. It's another day, another dollar, more money, more success. I hope each and every one of y'all stay blessed. And remember, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Cheers. Yeah. It's the Pirates of the Caribbean. Niggas can't fuck with me, man.
That boy.
It's LikquidCash, I need it all out the stash.
I'ma get rich or I'ma get deported. Riding cross country, my Ford Taurus with two hoes and they both foreign. These trick niggas about to get extorted.